There are so many incredible stories I could tell you about Bilbao. You know, the atmosphere, the scenes of jubilation after we finally lifted that trophy after so long, everything else that went with it. But I want to focus on a good football story. I want to tell you how a Man United fan basically saved us and helped us get home. Basically, it was virtually impossible to get a taxi after the game. I've never seen anything like it. This was basically a queue to get a taxi and it wasn't moving at all. And it was so odd because we walked to the outer bits of Bilbao to try and get a cab and had no luck. But it was like a film almost, because it was like a ghost town and very eerie, but at the same time you walked more into the centre and there was people laying everywhere, you know, people in groups walking around, everyone trying to get a cab, almost trying to race each other to get a cab, and no one had any luck at all. I'd never seen so many police cars driving around in my life, and yet taxis were driving past us.
Bilbao doesn't have any taxis running, even though it's got the Europa League final.
We even thought we were ahead of the game. At this point, it was about 4 o'clock and we walked to Bilbao bus station thinking, oh, you know, we'll get on that bus that's going to take us to the airport. This right here, this ain't even the whole queue. This was a queue to get on a single-decker bus going to the airport. There was no way we're going to get on this and time was running out. Not to mention the fact that a Man United fan had started on me for no reason. I don't know why, and I actually just don't care because this is a positive story about a good Man United fan. We even tried Ubers and they weren't having it. No cabbies wanted to take us. We'd put our hands out for cabs and they would just drive past, or people may get in them before. But anyway, so we outside this bus station, we split ourselves into three and say, right, if the cab comes along, we got to go to it and see how we get on. Cab pulled up just where I was standing, a Man United fan. He got in. I ran up to him and I said, I'm really sorry, mate. Where are you going? He said the airport. And I was like, mate, can we please get in? There is no other option here. We're struggling. We've got a flight at 7. I don't know how we're going to do this. And he said, yeah, okay. And that was such a lovely thing for him to do. I feel awful for forgetting his name, but this Irish Man United fan did not need to do that. He happily could have just got in that cab and gone off and we would have missed our flight. I looked at flights and it was looking at £200 plus at the end of that day to get it. At this point, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. It's 5:15, right? Our flight was at 7. If he had not done that, we'd have missed the flight. We'd have been even more knackered. And then on top of that, might have missed a connecting flight from Seville back to Gatwick the next day. We'd heard stories from Tottenham fans in the airport that had done the walk. Do you know how long that walk was from central Bilbao? 3 hours. Imagine all your options being exercised and the last thing you can do is walk to the airport just so you can catch your flight. All the omens and the universe was with us. When we got back to Seville airport, we looked up at the ceiling and guess what the colour of the ceiling was? Tottenham colours, man. Even in our hotel before we got back to the airport, we saw this literally in the reception, in the shape of the Europa League. It's so funny and such a sign. We all know how fantastic and beautiful football is, but this Man United fan really embodies that because they lost the game. He could have just said, no, you're not getting in. He let us get in that cab. He let us get to the airport. We didn't say we were going to pay for the cab. I paid at the airport because it was the right, decent thing to do. And I'm so thankful and grateful for that Man United fan. I'll forever be in debt for him because it was such a stressful end to what was a